Okay, well, here we are for the final fit. Earlier I talked about the three dimensions, one being the outside or the edge, the other was the radius. As you can see, this one's getting pretty close here. It could still take it down a little bit on this side, and this side you can see the brass is not really straight, it's almost touching there. I don't know if you can see, the back is sticking out some and the hole is not lined up. The reason I'm showing you this position is because of the three dimensions I was talking about. This is what I did, was I laid this down flat. It's nice and flat there, there's no springiness to it. I push it in this direction and you can see that the hole is not lined up. It just needs to go forward, maybe a little bit that way. But if I pull it over, I can straighten it and pull it forward again to where the hole is straight, and you can still see the edge right here, and that it's not all the way forward. So the last dimension is the back, the flat back radius type thing right here. So I have this one done, and this one is not done, and that's what they got to match. So what I did to make this one fit was I started rounding off this corner right here, and this one actually fits perfectly, and I got it all put away right now, or I'd show you. It comes right down to the edge. This radius here, you can see that this is radius, right? On this one it's not. So I'll start by rounding this off a little bit, just a little bit, and sliding it in there again and see where I'm at. Now this one, it seemed like it took forever, didn't move. I knock a little bit off the top right here, round it down a little bit, some off the bottom, but you can, I don't know if you can really see in this view of the camera or not, but try and get some towards the end. See how it's more radiused looking right here, not just over the top, but also around. Matches like the brass. There's two radiuses here, one going this way and the one going around that way. This is the hardest part of the whole thing. Take about 6 or 7 swipes with a sandpaper and check and make sure you're getting it, and once again, both sides at the same time. Don't just mess with one. Once you got the other two dimensions, the shape and the roundness, then all you're trying to do is match this pretty complex little shape here in the back. Only complex because there's two radiuses going at the same time, and the corners are the hardest part. If you take it down too much, you're going to see it inside these openings here. And if you just go slow, like this one, looks like it's a little high right here, but it's really not. Might be a little bit of a ridge there, but that might be just enough that what's holding it over the pin perfectly, which would make this side a little bit low, which will all fill in with CA glue, so you don't have to worry about it. It's as long as it matches up right here and doesn't leave a divot, which it doesn't. So like I said, we got the radius going this way because you saw it sitting flat. We got the shape really good. It's just a matter of rounding this off in the two directions, and start with whatever side you think is worse. This one needed to come down a little bit more on this side. Might be this right here that's holding it up. You know, just knock it down a little bit. This one could come down too, right here. Knock it down a little bit. It only needs to go down. The shape is fine. So, you know, when you're doing this corner right here, just kind of go like that and get that down. and then swipe that off around the corner there, but you don't want to go down too far. If you get it down more and it's still not going in, start sanding this off right here. But once again, be careful. You can take a little bit more off the edge, but not a lot. Most of it's right here, and you can see, because you can see this right here, that's what tells me it's that. So I would sand this down first, around in there, push it, set it down, and push it forward again and see how it lands on the hole. That's how you fit the back, the last piece. And I put this wedge in there, and it's really not a wedge at all. There's no wedge to it. It's all big fat spacer. It still matches the scales fine and everything, but when I put it together, the brass looks way far apart. I'm going to go ahead and finish them and then put it together and see what it looks like, but we might wind up with a whole new wedge, because like I say, this one doesn't have any wedge to it whatsoever. It's just a spacer. You can see there's nothing but squareness to it, but I'll have to fit it together and see. I got the other end bolster done, and the other one I've kind of straightened out a little bit. It's still missing. I cut the piece off so that they match. Ta-da! Did some hammer on it. It's still kind of wiped out, but doesn't look as bad as it did. I do believe this was messed up at the factory. This one's way shorter than the other one on the other side. It's kind of shoved over a little bit. Like I said, all this was buried, and this looks like it was cut off or something. This doesn't have its point, and there's 2 holes in it. So I don't know how somebody could have tried to rescale it with the original type scales on there. Maybe they did. And then with that extra piece of metal that was in there, it just tells me all that happened on a bad day in the factory. But who knows? Anyway, that's probably going to be the last of it till I start finishing and fitting stuff, and then I'll probably just show it together and ready to glue, and maybe we'll go ahead and glue it next time. Alrighty, and that's it. I did it this way because I just started to type it all out, and I thought, I've had enough of this. Video's easier. So see you on the next one. Bye bye for now.